Hey, it's Dave Brown here, host of Now with Dave Brown on AMI. Check out this latest highlight from the show. October is Stuttering Awareness Month. Let's catch up with the host of the Proud Stutter Podcast, Maya Chupkov, to find out how they are marking this month. Hey, good morning, Maya. Thank you for making time for us today. We're grateful.
Good morning. Happy to be here.
So let's start with Stuttering Awareness Month because your podcast is doing a campaign. What do you have planned?
Yeah, so for the whole month of October, Proud Stutter is partnering with Facetronomy, a business that illustrates faces. And we're partnering to lift up stories of all types of people who stutter, from our very own President Biden to just your everyday people. And we're just so excited about it. Every Tuesday and Thursday, we post a different story with an illustration of that person. And then at the end of the month, we're going to do a raffle and award out some custom theme artwork.
It's a really great idea and a great way to connect the community together. I'm curious what you would hope people take away from an awareness month like this.
So stuttering really can be an isolating experience. I myself hadn't come out as a stutterer until just recently. It took me 29 years. I was able to pass as fluent for most of my life because of hiding it. And a lot of people out there are just struggling alone. And so this campaign is all about letting people know that they're not alone. There's a community for them out there. And that's really what it's all about. And we've already met so many new people from the campaign that are joining the community. So it's been wonderful.
I want to circle back to your podcast specifically. I had a chance to listen to a couple episodes, and I heard an interview you did with our colleague Joyta Gupta last week that was incredible. But why'd you want to start the podcast?
I started the podcast because I was actually very miserable at work. And I really wanted to nurture the creative part of myself. I've never really considered myself as an artist. And then podcasting, it just seemed like something that I could learn and do. And so the idea of Proud Stutter really came from my fiance, Kyle, because I knew I wanted to do a podcast. I just didn't know what it would be about. And he has always been so curious about my stutter. And so he kind of put that thought in my head. And ever since then, I just ran with it. And yeah, I initially thought it was going to be a 1-season thing, but the community has really just welcomed me with open arms and wants me to keep going. So here I am now already planning season 3.
Yeah, it's amazing how when that ball gets rolling, it just keeps on rolling. I know there's a lot of variety in the kind of conversations that you're having, but what kind of conversations do you typically have on the show?
Yeah, so for season 1, I really wanted to get as diverse a pool of people as possible from all walks of life. So on season 1, we had a journalist. That was an incredible interview. We had a comedian, and we also had a speech language therapist who also stuttered. So just so many different types of people who stutter, ranging from different because, some people's stutters are more consistent, some aren't. So I always try to have diversity of stuttering itself too. And for season 2, we're doing something a little different because we really want to grow the audience and invites people in. And so each episode has a person that doesn't stutter to kind of help to learn with us and learn with some of the audience members that might not know about stuttering too.
You were really kind yesterday to send over a clip from an upcoming show that's going to be dropping later this week in a conversation you had with DJ Portugal. So we're actually going to play a short clip here where he talks about some of the work that he's doing as a community organizer in Phoenix, Arizona, working towards environmental justice within the Latinx community. So let's give that clip a listen.
you came on and you shared the Proud Stutter. I had never really in the past really addressed my stutter, not even really with family or friends, it was something that I was always embarrassed of. I think a lot of folks have to work through imposter syndrome, just, as a fact of life. And I always felt like my stutter like increased that sense of imposter syndrome, especially because so many of the things that I've chosen to do career wise require me to speak, require me to be not just speak, but speak eloquently, communicate a message, garner support, help folks through some really tough moments. Like speaking is always such a big part of all the things that I've done in my life. I just when you shared your own journey with stuttering, I just felt seen in a way that I had never felt seen before.
Maya, I hope you may indulge me in this thought. And by the way, if you think that this thought is terrible, you're welcome to tell me. Dave, shove it. So it feels like slowly but surely we've had something of a cultural awakening about not making fun of people for disabilities, health concerns, etc. Certainly when it comes to visible disabilities. But does it feel like perhaps that awakening has come a little bit more slowly when it comes to speech differences?
Yes, for stuttering, I think we still have a long way to go. To this day, I watch and listen to TV quite a lot, and I still hear the phrase so much over and over again. Did I stutter? Like that's such a frequently used phrase, and I'm just like, and that just is a constant reminder that there's still so much work to do. And I actually was just in a webinar last night with a director who stutters, and he's doing research around finding as many stuttering in pop culture, in TV films, and dissecting them in order to kind of help change the entertainment industry and how they handle stuttering.
Yeah, we know that that's an advocacy battle that takes a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of research across the spectrum of so many different kinds of disabilities. Maya, I'm curious. You mentioned that you started this podcast out of a desire to do something new. Now that you've done it for a couple of years, what's your favorite part about podcasting?
One of my favorite parts about podcasting is the community. I have so many podcasting friends, and we just always bond over how hard it can be, how it's like a labor of love, and podcasting can be very isolating as well. And just having a community around you is so incredible. And there's this conference called Podcast Movement that I go to, and every time I go, it's just meeting new creators and just spreading more awareness about stuttering. It's my favorite part for sure.
This one is a question that people have asked me before, and I always have a bad answer, but you're more talented than me, so I'm wondering if you might actually have a good answer to this. Is there someone that is your dream interview subject? Who is someone that you would love to get on the other side of an interview and talk to them?
So it used to be Joe Biden, the president of the United States, and he's still up there, but I've actually switched my number one dream interview guest because I recently watched a few interviews of the director of Black Panther, Ryan Coogler, and I noticed that he has a stutter. He doesn't really talk about it, but you as a stutterer, you kind of can you learn to like see, like catch little like tidbits of stuttering that others might not. And so I definitely would love to interview him one day.
Very, very good answer. I like that one a lot, and he's staying busy in the movie world, so it might be tricky. But you never know; those press releases go out for the movie junkets, and next thing you know, you get him in the chair, and it's an exciting time. Maya, remind people where they can go support the podcast, support you, and support the campaign that you're running for Stuttering Awareness Month.
Yes, the best place to go to just look through everything around Proud Stutter, and our campaign is proudstutter.com. On our home page, we have our latest episode on there, and we have more information about our campaign. And you can also find me on all the socials, Proud Stutter everywhere.
Maya, we're so grateful for your time today. Keep up all the excellent work. The podcast is top tier, and hopefully we get a chance to catch up with you again down the road.
Thank you so much for having me.
That's Maya Chupkov, the host of the Proud Stutter Podcast. Punch in Proud Stutter on your favorite podcasting platform, or head over to the website as well. Punch it into your Google machine. Do you want to dive into more conversations like this? Watch Now with Dave Brown weekdays at 9 a.m. Eastern on AMI.tv, or download the podcast wherever you listen. Do you want to dive into more conversations like this? Watch Now with Dave Brown weekdays at 9 a.m. Eastern on AMI.tv, or download the podcast wherever you listen.